Your Honor, may I retrieve evidence and approach the witness? Thanks. Good afternoon, Mr. Keenan.
Good afternoon, Counsel.
I want to start by talking about the bank statement that you were discussing on direct examination. You previously mentioned that there was a cash deposit on April 17th for $200,000, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Now, if you actually look a little bit up, I think it's the 6th, there's actually another cash deposit for $155,000.
Correct.
And if you go up even further, there's a withdrawal of $75,000.
Yes, that is correct.
If you go up a little bit further, there's another withdrawal of $50,000.
Also correct.
And if you go up even further, there's another withdrawal of $100,000.
Yes, that is true.
And Mr. Keenan, you have no clue what any of this money was for, right?
No, I do not have any idea what that money was for.
You don't know where any of the money on there came from?
I know there were cash deposits.
You don't know why it was deposited?
Not specifically why it was deposited, no.
Okay, so let's talk about, may I retrieve evidence from the witness? Approach the bench. Let's talk about the events leading up to April 17th. You mentioned that you're an undercover investigator,
Yes, I am an undercover investigative officer.
and you were sent to investigate the Midlands Gambling Commission as a whole.
Yes, that is true.
So you decided that to better your investigation, you should get closer to Avery Bancroft, right?
I mean, yes, once those casinos started rolling in, I was looking for possible signs of corruption. So, yes.
So you set up a meeting with Avery Bancroft's assistant, Corey Hyde,
Yes, I did.
and when you set this meeting up, you revealed yourself in this meeting as an undercover investigator to Corey Hyde.
Specifically to Corey Hyde, yes.
And you had Corey Hyde set up meetings for you.
Yes, Corey Hyde agreed.
So then there was another meeting on March 31st, correct?
Yes, there was another meeting on March 31st.
Chase Covington wasn't at this meeting.
No, Mr. Covington was not at that meeting.
And you simply just discussed the proposal with Avery Bancroft.
Yes,
And then there was another meeting, and that one was on April 13th.
yes,
And in this meeting, you mentioned on direct examination that Avery Bancroft wrote on that.
yes, that is true.
Nowhere in this meeting, Mr. Keenan, was the word bribe ever mentioned.
Not explicitly mentioned, no.
Nowhere in this meeting did Chase Covington actually ask for money.
Not explicitly, no.
Now, you mentioned on direct examination that Chase Covington just took the napkin, pocketed it, and left, right?
Yes, that is true. After it was written, Mr. Covington just took the napkin.
Let's go over some things that you forgot to mention. Because Avery Bancroft wrote on the napkin once, right?
Yes,
Slid it over to Chase Covington.
yes, that is true.
Chase Covington slid it back.
Yes, after saying, I don't think you know what kind of position this puts me in.
Exactly. He said, I don't think you know what kind of position this puts me in.
Exactly.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Chase Covington never actually accepted the napkin.
She took the napkin.
Mr. Covington just took it.
Never said, thank you for the napkin, or anything of that nature, but he did take the napkin. He could have easily just pushed it back.
Right, so you don't know why he took the napkin.
No, I just know he took the napkin with monetary value.
You don't know what he did with the napkin.
No, I don't know what he did with it.
You don't know what Chase Covington was thinking.
No, I can't say what Mr. Covington was thinking.
After he said, you don't know what kind of position this puts me in.
No, I can't say for certain what Mr. Covington was thinking.
So he could have just taken the napkin to discard it.
Objection, Your Honor. Speculation.
Your Honor, I'm just asking this witness to testify to his rationally based perception. If he says no, he can say no.
Well, if I respond, Your Honor, the witness has told us he doesn't know what Chase Covington did with the napkin after he left the meeting, so he doesn't have the personal knowledge, and it's not within his rationally based perceptions to tell us what could or could not have been done with this napkin after it left his site and after it left that meeting. This is outside the scope of his personal knowledge. This isn't something he can tell us based on his rational perceptions, and so this is improper speculation as to what could have been done with the napkin.
I'll allow the witness to answer if he doesn't know or doesn't have any knowledge of what could or could not have happened, you can say that.
Mr. Keenan, he could have just discarded.
He could have, but we have it, so.
He could have just taken that napkin to end this whole discussion, correct?
He could have, but he didn't push it back either.
Now, the numbers on that napkin, you don't know exactly what they mean besides a dollar amount, right?
They are a dollar amount, yes.
You don't know what that money was about.
Oh, and I pushed it to Ava Bancroft. I said, it's all about the money.
They were discussing the proposal in this meeting, right?
Yes, they were discussing the proposal,
So that money easily could have been for the proposal.
or for the vote of the proposal.
Mr. Keenan, throughout your investigation, you've never seen Mr. Covington ever ask for a bribe.
Not explicitly, no.
Is that your testimony here in court today?
I've never seen Chase Covington ask for a bribe,
Yes or no? Have you seen Chase Covington ever ask for a bribe?
not explicitly.
Mr. Keenan, on April 16th, there was another meeting.
Yes.
Chase Covington didn't show up to this meeting.
No, Mr. Covington did not show up.
You don't know why Mr. Covington didn't show up to this meeting?
No, I do not know.
You don't know where he was?
Well, I learned later through some security footage that he was at the VIP room of the Black Bear Casino.
Right, and you mentioned that he had briefcases.
Yes, one briefcase.
Oh, correct me if I'm wrong, you've seen Mr. Covington with a briefcase before.
Yes, I have. It's not unusual to see a public official with a briefcase.
Right, so it wasn't weird seeing both Avery Bancroft and Chase Covington with briefcases.
No, but it was weird seeing them with similar briefcases.
I want to back up a little bit because after that March 31st meeting with Avery Bancroft, you actually went back and met with Covington, right?
Yes, I did.
And Mr. Keenan, that's when you decided to just go for it, didn't you?
How do you mean, go for it?
Well, Mr. Keenan, you asked Chase Covington whether or not you should let Avery Bancroft's people know that he'd be willing to accept something off the books.
I did ask that, yes.
And Mr. Covington got angry with you.
Yes, Mr. Covington got a little angry.
He was upset.
He seemed a little upset.
You were asking him to do something illegal.
I wasn't asking him to do anything.
You did ask him whether or not
I
he'd
asked
be
him
willing to
if
accept
he-
something off the books.
I did ask him that. I didn't ask him to do that.
Mr. Keenan, he got upset and he told you, I do things...
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay as to the statements of Chase Covington.
Your Honor, this goes under the 803... Yeah, 803, then existing mental, physical, oh, I'm sorry. (803)2, excited utterance. Now, Mr. Covington was just asked whether or not he'd do something illegal by Mr. Keenan. Now, this is excited utterance because he was clearly upset, as you heard through the testimony, and he decided to say this: I do things by the books. Therefore, it should be allowed in court today.
A response, Your Honor?
I understand what your argument is. I mean, can you lay a little more foundation as far as the excited part of the utterance?
Your Honor, I did ask the witness that he was yelling. He got angry. He was upset. He was in a startling condition. And therefore, excited utterance constitutes this. Now, Mr. Keenan, he said, I do things by the books, correct?
Yes, Mr. Covington did say that.
Thank you. I have no further questions.